Hi all, you are watching a fragment of the Countdown program from April 10, 2023. Today is Monday. For a bonus story about increased sanctions against Russia, see Daily Motion. And don't forget to subscribe. See the full version on Patreon. And thanks to everyone who is becoming our patrons right now. And I'm moving on to the main thing. Having not achieved tangible results in the field of information propaganda, the Russians changed tactics, moving on to information stuffing from intelligence. A leak of classified U.S. Department of Defense documents could force Ukraine to change its military plans. Some of the documents reveal key shortcomings in Ukrainian weaponry, air defense, and the size and readiness of battalions. U.S. officials spoke with allies and partners over the weekend about this leak. Pentagon Deputy Spokeswoman Singh said, "The Justice Department has launched an investigation into the source of the leak." The leak also forced the Pentagon to step up its controls on the flow of top-secret documents normally available to hundreds of people in government, officials said. It is noted that the most valuable information was information about the training in NATO countries of 6 brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, each of which includes from 4,000 to 5,000 soldiers. Their training is expected to be completed by April 30th. The documents also reported that the brigades formed for the offensive would need more than 250 tanks and about 350 mechanized vehicles. The documents also contained a detailed assessment of the situation of the Ukrainian army, including information about an acute shortage of air defense ammunition and success in defending Bakhmut. Also, secret documents partially revealed the extent of the penetration of U.S. intelligence into the Russian army and special services. One of the released notes discussed the plans of the Russian General Staff to counter the tanks that the United States is transferring to Ukraine. The other spoke about the plans of the Russian Ministry of Defense to strike at specific targets in Odessa and Nikolaev on March 3. These sensational documents first appeared in pinned messages on the Discord platform channels that were dedicated to the Minecraft computer game. Then they spread to other sites, and in recent days appeared on Telegram, Twitter, and later in the largest media publications around the world. The user who shared these documents later claimed to have found them himself on a Discord server called WowMao. It is noted that other documents labeled top secret were leaked, but they have already been removed from the server. It is now impossible to verify the authenticity of this information, as well as to establish the original source. Putlo Talker Peskov called the leaks of Pentagon documents interesting, specifying that the data about them are being studied, analyzed, and widely discussed. Meanwhile, according to CNN, there have been reports that the United States was listening to meetings of Zelensky and other allies. In its report, American intelligence refers to radio intelligence data. It is reported that at the end of February, Zelensky allegedly offered to hit Russian troops in the Rostov region. At the same time, Reuters writes that the leaked Pentagon documents cited by CNN may be fake. So the war of stuffing in the virtual space continues. And in Ukraine the war is real. According to Aleksandr Mitrashkovsky, spokesman for the defense forces of the Tauride direction, in the area of Mariinka and Avdiivka, the enemy suffers colossal losses. Every day the enemy loses about 2 companies of personnel, but leaves no hope. According to Russian prisoners, they are sent into battle by not sober enough commanders. They are simply raised at night and without any preparation at gunpoint they are sent to storm. Rashist propagandist Kirill Rogov does not hide his confusion. There is a feeling that Bakhmut is such a smoke screen behind which the parties are licking their wounds and preparing for something else, he writes. In any case, it is difficult to imagine that several 100,000 Russian mobilized people are fighting near Bakhmut. Rather, they expend Prigozhin's summer recruitment of prisoners there. One way or another, the Bakhmut period in the history of this war is apparently ending, and there is no clarity as to what the main plot of the next one will be. And this is the main intrigue of the moment, the end of the quote. Prigozhin himself is also intrigued, who feels the approach of the X hour. Become our patrons now and look further in this program. Moscow continues to put pressure on Minsk, where Russian Defense Minister Shoigu has arrived. Lukashenko demanded security guarantees from Moscow and began to dodge like a hare across a collective farm field. French President Macron's visit to China caused a mixed reaction from the expert community. It looks like Comrade Xi has succeeded in reinforcing in Macron the idea of resisting US dominance on the European continent. A near-Kremlin Telegram channel has published a list of possible defendants whom the Kremlin will try to exchange for the American journalist Gershkovich kidnapped by the FSB. Among the named names are the schemer Vladislav Klyushin, the shadow crypto swindler Aleksandr Vinnik, the editor-in-chief of Sputnik Lithuania Marat Kasim and others. The US authorities are sending a delegation of Treasury officials to Europe to enforce sanctions against Russia, and the European Union may adopt a new package of anti-Russian sanctions in April. Putin calls the Central Asian princelings, persuading them to help in circumventing the sanctions. The cave needs something to supply and feed. If economic strangulation continues, Russia will be left without the technologies of the future. And why are they for those who are directed to the past? Simply put, if Putin attacked Ukraine 20 years ago and received the same amount of sanctions as now, by 2023 Russia would still live with push-button phones and dial into the internet via modem. For the full story on this topic, see Daily Motion. And don't forget to subscribe to Sotnik-TV. And that is all. See the full version of the program on the Patreon resource. And thanks to everyone who is becoming our patrons right now. Hugs to all. See you on Thursday. Glory to Ukraine.